Picture this, you're a From Software executive. You drive to work in your Dark Souls funded sports car, you turn heads walking through the lobby in your slick three-piece suit you bought with Dark Souls 2 money. You hop into the lift and press 55, one of those new office floors you had built using the profits of Dark Souls 3. As you settle back into the lift, something punches through the closing doors. Arms, strong arms, they tear the doors open. Those arms are attached to Hidetaki Miyazaki. Hulking in the door, he says to you, "I want to make Dark Souls again." A brilliant idea. You go to respond, but a muscly sausage finger presses against your quaking lips. This time, you're a ninja. You nod and he pulls away. The doors close, and you ride the lift all the way past level 55 to heaven. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is Dark Souls with ninjas, but it's so much more. The From Software DNA is unmistakably at the core of this challenging action-adventure through 16th century Japan. But having just had a brief hands-on session with the game, there's a whole lot of surprises and features that have me excited about this new IP, and a lot that I'm nervous about having to learn.
A tutorial pop-ups come up as the guy's behind me with the sword, like about to drop on my head.
So here are some of the things that felt immediately different about Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Starting the demo out balancing precariously on a tree branch is certainly one way to get to grips with the game's new movement systems. For starters, there's a dedicated jump button. No longer must we clumsily dash, double tap before leaping, now a simple button press can send you flying into the abyss. Luckily, this is where the game's signature grappling hook comes into play. Nothing new by video game standards, but here, utterly game-changing. Grappleable places are indicated by a small circle that appears green when in reach. And in a genre very much about linear paths and obtuse platforming sections, I'm looking at you Blighttown, the grapple opens up the verticality of areas and more importantly changes how you look at approaching each encounter. Do you rush in and aggro your enemies before hastily retreating, or do you zip to the rooftop and pick off foes with ranged attacks? Both options have equal chance of success, or more likely failure. Unless you decide to go full ninja and utilize the game's stealth mechanics. Crouching in undergrowth or staying out of sight before approaching enemies will allow you to pull off a one-hit killing blow, which rings with the same satisfaction as the backstabs and riposte crits from Dark Souls. So I can definitely see this becoming the default plan in most situations, especially if it means eliminating that big scary screaming guy before dealing with his smaller squishy friends. Once you do draw your katana and begin the classic slow strafe, everything starts to feel familiar again. And then changes in a flash as enemies charge at you with flurries of attacks. These aren't your typical stumbling undead. These are cunning warriors like yourself, and it shows in their fighting style. Many enemy encounters often feeling more like Souls PvP fights. In place of a depleting stamina bar is a new poise break system, which did exist behind the scenes in Souls. Here it's the most critical aspect of combat. Should this meter fill all the way and break, you'll be left open to attacks. Fortunately though, this system is mirrored for your foes. Once broken, you'll be able to then pull off another one of those spectacularly bloody finishing blows. That's not to say the classic go-to style of quick roll, strafe, attack isn't still super effective. And now without a stamina bar, you're free to roll and jump to your heart's content. This leads to faster and more frantic combat, but it also proved to be the steepest part of the relearning curve. Boss fights in particular require a combination of all these new techniques, as well as a few additional tricks you keep up your sleeve, or arm. Taking a page out of the Bloodborne playbook, your mechanical prosthetic limb transforms into a number of secondary weapons, ranging from a flamethrower to slow down enemies, an axe to break shields, and of course classic shurikens. Even playing as a super nimble and deadly ninja with a host of new skills and weapons, let's not forget that Sekiro is by the same team that designed that punishing gameplay loop that delights in our demise. Translation:
so you're going to die.
Expect to regularly find yourself on the sharp end of a sword. The good news is, now you get a mulligan. As the name suggests, dying in Sekiro is a two-stage process. You can now instantly resurrect on the spot and continue the fight. Die again, however, and you're sent back to the most recent shrine, aka bonfire. It's clearly a more forgiving mechanic than we're used to seeing from, but with no armor options to be seen and only protection spells to keep you safe, death looks to come quick and often in this world, so 2 lives still probably isn't going to cut it. Finally, when you do return to the land of the living, you'll notice that the devs have done away with one of their most iconic gameplay systems, the Soul's Walk of Shame. No longer must you return to the place you died to reclaim any form of currency, be they souls or blood echoes. In fact, with no RPG systems at all, Sekiro appears to be designed in a way that replaces character customization with playstyle. This sees the end of the one bro community and obscure challenge runs. Now, playthroughs will differ depending on how you choose to navigate each area and engage in the combat. This will mean less variation overall, but it also feels more focused. Areas are designed with verticality and stealth in mind, and the setting feels far more realised, which I hope will translate into a story and setting that's a little less cryptic than we're used to getting.
I had no idea what you'd become.
If Dark Souls and Bloodborne are brothers, then Sekiro is like the estranged cousin who rocks up to every third Christmas gathering with a slick new hairdo, and for some reason he's carrying a samurai sword. And this demo was just a small vertical slice of the game. But from what I've seen, it certainly looks like From Software are determined to throw away the whimsical fantasy elements of their past, and now present a more visceral and realistic depiction of 16. Holy shit, look at the size of that snake! Oh, nope. Run away. That's gonna be terrifying, I can just tell.